When most people think of Batman the Animated Series, the first two things they think of is Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as the Joker. And for good reason. The two actors are iconic in those parts. But did you know that one of them wasn't even supposed to have the part to begin with? While Mark Hamill is certainly legendary in his portrayal of the Clown Prince of Crime, being widely considered to be the definitive take on the character, the part originally was supposed to be played by Tim Curry. As a matter of fact, the part was in fact played by Tim Curry.
Service with a smile. Oh, that's a joke, right? Batman finally told a joke! Batman! Hey, Batman! Looks like Captain Clown is really getting attached to you! Just for that, Batman. Hey, Batman! You stink so bad, I can smell you from here! Pew! Justice is served hot, Batman! You're gonna melt just like a grilled cheese sandwich. You killed Captain Clown. You killed Captain Clown, Batman! You wouldn't let me fry, would you? Batman!
It's certainly strange hearing another voice come out of that famous character model, but it's understandable why Curry would be cast in the role. Tim is a very villainous voice. He's a man who's managed to play memorable parts in unmemorable projects. Even if he's given less stellar material, the guy still turns in a more than stellar performance. And considering that one of the guy's most famous roles is Pennywise the Dancing Clown, you can understand how one might think that would translate over into being a good Joker.
Do you have Prince Albert in a can? You do? Well, you better let the poor guy out!
If I'm stepping out of my memories of Hamill's performance, I can say that I actually like Curry's take on the role. It's completely different, but it's a voice that works well with the look that the show's given it. I actually enjoy it, but all things considered, I don't think that it would have led to the icon status that Hamill's seen in the part. In an alternate reality where Tim Curry stayed in the role, it probably would have been well received. I don't know if it would have been as beloved or as identifiable and career-defining as a bunch of Tim Curry's other performances have been. Despite the two actors playing the same part, they're distinctly different. Both bring a sinister nature to their sarcastic ways, but they go about it in entirely opposite manners. I think both voices incorporate sinister and snark, but they don't balance it out quite the same. Tim's take still has a scary edge to it, but it definitely leans more into the realm of goofy, whereas Mark's take has a goofy edge to it, but leans into more scary and threatening territories. Tim played the part as if he himself was the punchline, where Mark played the part as if he was the one who was in on the joke, and his victims were the punchline. There have been conflicting reasons given for the change, but I guess ultimately playing a nightmare-inducing killer clown twice wasn't in the cards for this Joker. Those attached to the project claim that higher-ups didn't care for Curry's take on the character, while the actor himself claims that he lost out on the part due to bronchitis. Nonetheless, none of the episodes of the actor ever made it to air, with the part he played eventually being dubbed over by Mark Hamill, and the rest is history. What's important to note is that a handful of the Joker episodes from the first season of the animated series were animated based on Curry's performance as the character, which made recasting Hamill in the part that much more challenging. Because instead of turning in a performance and having a product shaped around it, a performance now needed to be shaped around an already existing animation based on a previous performance. It's not an impossible task, but it's a big ask that gives the actor playing the part significantly less freedom to do so. However, Mark made it work, and most people would be none the wiser. Though Tim Curry's time as the character doesn't necessarily end there, as there are still remnants of this performance within the annals of Batman the Animated Series, with the actor's laughs being recycled for one of the Joker's toys in the episode Be a Clown.
Naughty, naughty, you're making me miss the show.
Even after the part was recast, that didn't mean the actor returned for every Joker appearance. There were plenty of occasions in which the Clown Prince of Crime showed up, but for some reason left his voice at home, making several silent appearances at Arkham Asylum, or in the occasional dream sequence/hallucination, which, ironically enough, turns this clown into a mime. In the episode Dreams in Darkness, the Joker makes an appearance as a fear gas-induced hallucination, but he doesn't have any lines. He just laughs, which is not an uncommon theme with this character. Don't have a voice for the bad guy? Just make him giggle. But what makes this noteworthy is that his laughter very clearly isn't Mark Hamill's, which makes the fact that the show let go of Tim Curry but still was able to recycle his laugh as the Joker, but then couldn't or just didn't find a way to repurpose a laugh of the guy who replaced him who was already on the payroll as the Joker. This is just confusing. I mean, this is the show's main villain's voice actor. How did they not already have a track of him laughing? I really wonder what the lore is on that one. As a matter of fact, there's 2 sets of laughter, both of which are uncredited. The first time the Joker appears on the face of a rat, and I used to think that laugh sounded like Mark Hamill. Which it kinda does, but in hindsight, I think it might even be Henry Pollock, the voice of the Scarecrow, which would make sense for obvious reasons. Whereas the later laughter is allegedly from this show's Robin, Lauren Lester. Personally, I don't hear any similarities there, but maybe he's just that talented of a voice actor. This man must have incredible range. Whatever the case, I can't find any concrete evidence that he is in fact behind that. It's just rumored and theorized at this point. But one way or another, that is definitely not Mark Hamill. This always fascinated me as a kid, because that was the infamous Joker, but that's not the Joker's famous voice. In the episode The Forgotten, the Joker once again appears as a hallucination of Bruce's. And being as such, he isn't voiced by Mark Hamill, but instead by Kevin Conroy himself. So this is one of those rare cases of Batman playing the Joker. Conroy doesn't speak any lines as the clown, but it's interesting listening to him try to emulate Mark Hamill's lunacy, trying his best to duplicate his psychotic laughter. And honestly, he kinda nails it. The character would also later be given a different performance entirely in the new Batman Adventures episode, Legends of the Dark Knight. This time around, the part was being played by actor Michael McKean. But this change isn't without rhyme or reason. The episode is filled with various variants of the character, as the episode follows a group of children and their own understanding and interpretations of the heroes and villains of Gotham. Batman is bent to each child's imagination, being completely reimagined every time, with the entire mythos being redesigned to pay homage to previous incarnations of these characters. In one character's version of events, the Dark Knight gets a campy cartoon makeover, where the show emulates the old Silver Age comics, and maybe to a lesser degree, the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons. In hindsight, a lot of these designs remind me of the Batman Brave and the Bold series designs of these characters. The performance itself feels straight out of the old school Batman cartoons. Not in the sense that this is a sound-alike performance, but in the sense that it sounds like it's portrayed the way the part was originally played. Personally, while I like the actor, I'm not a fan of him in the part. The voice doesn't feel like it matches the look, and feels bland and generic. But because of that, I would say that makes for an accurate adaptation of those old shows it's trying to emulate. So I'm not sure how bad I can call something that's trying to replicate something less than stellar and doing a stellar job in it.
Thank you, good fellow. So kind of you to get the door. Who says chivalry is dead? Now for my next number, I'd like to do a little ditty for you that I've been working on for, oh, it seems like years. I call it Beethoven's Last Movement. Mother always said I had talent. Ta-da! Thank you! Thank you!
Past that, there were a variety of Joker-inspired goons roaming the streets of Gotham City in Batman Beyond. But that's a story for a different day. So if you like this video and want to see a video on the Joker's gang that ran roughshod in Gotham City, let me know in the comment section below by leaving a comment saying,
"This is Hollywood's fault! The Joker! The Joker!"
I am vengeance. I am the night, and that was V Infuso. Just remember, if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out.
So, if you like the words that came out of his mouth hole, and you too would like to become a V-generate Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, nerds!
And if you're not joining the fun, you're in for one bad day. And you know what they say about having one bad day?
Catch him next time. Same bat time. Same bat channel.